Hello and welcome to Azur Lane Meta. If after this video you want to help support the channel, please check out my affiliate store at kit.co/AzurLaneMeta. So today I have an interesting story for you. In the middle of the data mine last night, a tweet from Yostar's staff caught some commotion. I was curious what was going on, and apparently so were a lot of you. So here's what I could find. The translated tweet is basically saying that using Azur Lane content to make political statements is prohibited. This isn't the first time they've said this. Back in 2019, they had to issue a similar statement because in China, it was believed that this cover of this 6th volume of character songs with unicorn on it was in support of the Hong Kong protesters. For context, note that in mainland China, people count with a single hand. So while in Japan and the West, holding up 2 hands with 6 fingers clearly represents the 6th volume, in China that isn't apparently obvious right off the bat. Now, why are they up in arms about the number 6 rather than 7, 8, or 9, which all have similar issues, is because of the context that they usually see this number 6 hand gesture. That context is related to the Hong Kong protesters, which use that hand gesture to represent their slogan, 5 demands, not 1 less. Hence, Yostar had to clarify that unicorn was, in fact, not part of the Free Hong Kong movement after several meme pages indicated she was. Now, the true underlying cause for Yostar feeling the need to recently make this statement about no political claims again is not officially confirmed. In this video, I'm going to talk about some potential current tensions that might have caused it. Maybe it was even a combination of multiple reasons listed out in this video. However, this video will not give a concrete answer because unless Yostar directly tells us, we are all simply speculating to some degree. So first off, let's start with a potential issue caused earlier this year by a voice actress of the game. The voice actress who voices Atago, Graf Zeppelin, Kaga, and more was canceled on Chinese social media earlier this year. Ai Kayano, the famous Japanese voice actress, visited Yasukuni Shrine, infamous because while the shrine is dedicated to nearly 2.5 million dead Japanese servicemen, 14 of them are World War II Class A war criminals. Thus, when she described her visit as, quote, comfortable, the resulting backlash in China had all of her in-game voice lines be removed from the Chinese version of Azur Lane. However, this incident happened several months ago, so I doubt this issue would prompt the tweet by itself, but it certainly contributes to the recent body of work that is Azur Lane political scandals. A much more recent incident involves an individual streamer. On Billy, there was a VTuber that used a model that was very clearly a modified version of August von Parzival. She received vast criticism for taking the VTuber model. She was banned from the platform, and Azur Lane official threatened legal action after fans brought it to their attention. This incident could have played a role in Yostar wanting to warn individuals against infringing on their copyright for commercial gain, but I couldn't find her making any political statement. From what I could tell, it appears she just did karaoke and ASMR streams. Another issue could be the cracking down by the Chinese government on, quote, spiritual opium, aka video games. This year, they implemented new, stricter controls for regulators to use against video games in order to ensure the games promote good traditional morals and socialist values. Azur Lane was directly affected by this by being forced to remove 18 ships from the Chinese version of the game here. And most recently, the crackdown includes requiring all games to utilize facial recognition technology to limit minors from playing games outside 3 designated weekly hours. This environment can lead to a bunch of self-censorship, such as how on the Chinese servers, all the historical IJN ships got renamed. Atago is just dog. Yudachi is camellia, like the flower, and good old Amagi is a ray. That being said, this tweet was only made from the Japanese Twitter account and not the Chinese Weibo account. So that would indicate to me that the triggering event for this tweet would more likely be one affecting the Japanese player base and not the Chinese player base. In the end, Azur Lane's 2 most profitable markets are from countries that are still sensitive about their World War II conflict with each other. This means the devs will have to constantly be in a balancing act between the 2 communities, and this becomes harder as tensions flare. These happen the most when Sakura Empire events are announced, where someone will always walk away disappointed. I can't help but think that this tweet is at least in part a preemptive measure for the event that they will be announcing during the Japanese anniversary stream this weekend. If the event were to hold, say, a Yamato-class ship and or be based on a battle post-Midway, then I'm sure someone will complain. So I can see the rationality as to why they want to distance themselves from history and dive deeper into the realms of alternative universes where the lines of real-world conflict are more blurred. However, I can't help but personally feel a little sad at this direction, as the historical element of this game was the differentiating factor that got me to try this anime gacha game instead of the numerous other bland alternatives. Anyway, guys, just made this video on a whim because a lot of you were asking what the heck is going on, and I did my best to do the research around it. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you want more Azur Lane content, and until next time, guys, take care.